Yes on 6 is a proposition to remove involuntary servitude from the California state constitution. Right now,
What does that mean?
basically forced labor or slavery, right? So it's used for punishment for crime. So people that are held inside state facilities,
Prisons.
prisons,
Okay.
basically,
Okay.
are forced to work, right? If you don't work, you could get time added to your sentence. Some of these people are working for 8 cents an hour, pennies on the dollar. Then they have to pay their restitution from the 80 cents they might have made that day from working 10 hours, right? And on top of that, these companies, certain companies are partner with some of these state facilities that they're in here making furniture, they're in here making the license plates, making American flags, making, anything you can think of, cups, welding, all kind of skill sets, right, that are being utilized in there, and they're not able to focus on their rehabilitation because they're forced to work, because like, hey, I got to work the shift, but the a drug anonymous class is at the same time, and they won't make any, like, concessions,
Accommodations.
yeah, accommodations or concessions to them, like, hey, we have the day program, have the night program, right, for the people that work in the day, this and that. But I digress. Anyways, voting yes on Prop 6 will remove involuntary servitude from the California state constitution, where people they'll be able to give consent to have to work. And people are always like, well, if no one's working, people still want to work because not everyone has the support system that some may be blessed with, where that them working is the only way that they could build up money to access commissary, the access
Commissary.
the food, the food kitchen, right? The extra food, not just the state meals, but they have, like, top ramen,
Doritos.
Doritos, the little,
Yeah.
little Debbie's and things like that, little creature comforts, right?
Yeah.
So people are always still going to work because that's going to give them money, but we don't want them to be punished for not working. You know what I mean? Because it's like that's slavery, right?
Yeah,
You
and that's just for
force
the
you.
state. That's just for the state of California, right?
Yeah, just well, there's a number of states that have already removed this kind of language, involuntary servitude and slavery, from their state constitutions.
Okay.
California has to catch up. Like Alabama's done it already, right? Alabama has already
That's
done
the
it.
irony, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
One of the most massive slave states in this country at in the past, right?
Yeah.
They've already removed this, so
Yeah.
California is playing catch up. Usually we
See,
lead, but in this instance we're playing catch up.
shows a lot about you may have about a front image as opposed to what's really happening behind the scenes. It says a
Totally,
lot. Yeah.
totally. Like, on that same tip, and then I'll explain about no on Prop 36. But when you think about California, we always talk about California being a blue state. It's more so a purple state because if you remove Los Angeles County out of the mix and you remove, like, San Francisco Bay Area out of the mix, California would be a red state
You
because
think so?
it would be. If you look at it's very conservative out here. California is extremely conservative, but since LA and the Bay Area hosts so many people that vote blue, it makes it a blue state. But we're really more so purple than anything. And if you do remove those, we would be a red state, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So to me, there's things you can learn from both sides of the aisle, right? I believe we need more options. One of my grandiose ideas or visions is the Purple Party, where we're progressive with the thinking, but conservative with the money. I think that's how most of us have to really live. We can't write blank checks. You know what I mean? We have to be mindful of the money that we make and live on within our means, as well as use innovation and creativity to address the things in our life that we're trying to, fulfill or address or whatever, right? We have to be innovative and think of creative solutions. So I would love the purple party. I know we do have a green party that kind of needs to be backed up or propped up a little more with, I know Jill Stein, I believe, is running for the presidency
Yes.
as well. And so we need more options. And then one of the ultimate goals is I would love to see the removal of the electoral college system because that's rooted in slavery, right? That electoral college system was created to give, because they weren't recognizing African Americans as whole people, only 3/5 of a man. So they would count the slaves at 3/5 per person, and it would basically just strengthen their votes. So, like, there's no reason, in my personal opinion, that a small state like Virginia, right, has so much power in determining the election when their population is not even as big as what we have here in the Inland Empire, right? Why is it these states have so much pull in determining the election even though they have a small population? I'm more of whoever the most Americans vote for. should be the winner. It shouldn't be like, oh, you get these votes from this state and this. Whoever the most Americans popular vote should win, in my opinion, because that's how most things work in normal life. Whoever
Yeah.
gets the most votes win. You know,
Got you.
so
American Idol.
yeah, there you
American
go,
Idol.
right? For
Yeah.
real, you know what I mean?
So
And then let me
go ahead,
finish
go
this.
ahead, yeah.
And then no on Prop 36 is to protect Proposition 47. Just to give the viewers a little background. Proposition 47, excuse me, passed about 10 years ago, and what it did was reclassify certain low-level felonies into misdemeanors. This was done because it was a prison overcrowding, as well as the racial disparities. You know, black and brown people often. I'll say it like this: we're only, as African American, we're only 14% of the national population, but we almost account for almost half of the people incarcerated. So there's a huge disparity in those of us that are affected by incarceration, right? 1 out of 3 African American men will have a run-in with the system. In comparison to our Hispanic counterpart, is 1 out of 6. But in comparison to our Caucasian counterpart, is 1 out of 17, right? So they were trying to address the overcrowding in the prisons as well as some of the racial disparities. With the passing of Prop 47 10 years ago, has redirected the savings, because right now currently it costs over $130,000 per year to incarcerate a healthy individual. So if someone has medical issues and things like that,
It goes up.
it could even double almost, right?
Got you. Like if
But
you have diabetes or something?
diabetes, or you have medicines that you're on, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So the cost could just almost double in certain instances. People, because people get cancer everywhere.
Yeah.
Just because you're in a state facility doesn't mean you're not subject to the chronic conditions that plague humanity, right?
And that's taxpayers' money, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So my thinking is, let me finish with Prop 36. So no on 36 is to save Prop 47. With the passing of Prop 47 over the course of these last 10 years, over $800 million has been redirected to our community to address mental health needs, to go address education, to address victim services, right? So it's a lot of great things that Prop 47 has done, as well as prevention. And that's where my mind is at. Why is it that we have to go be incarcerated to get access to mental health services? Why we have to be incarcerated to get access to the vocational trades, right? If we have these things in our community as community hubs to connect into the resources we need, we could alleviate people even getting caught up into the school to prison pipeline, or getting caught up in the system in general, right? It's about making the investments in the people, not in caging our people. And a lot of people don't know this, but the Inland Empire has the second largest returning population outside of Los Angeles County, coming back home from incarceration, right? So we have to, I don't want my community to be an incubator for prison. I don't want us to be an incubator for prison, right? Life's a beautiful experience and a gift and blessing to us all. So